Dive down, I would like to take just a moment to set the context of who is bringing this session to you. This session is brought to you by CloudFronts, an AI and data-centric Microsoft and Databricks solution partner in the industry since past 12 years. Along with 100 plus successful implementations, we work across sectors including manufacturing, professional services, finance, retail, and non-profit. We are also certified as a Databricks Select Consulting Partner. So for today's session, from case to shipment in a single click, streamlining your complex logistics with Dynamics 365 Customer Service Hub, which you might be using for your customer support. Now, the word click might make you curious because that's precisely what this solution delivers. A single action by a customer service agent or a representative that sets an entire logistical workflow for your return shipments into motion. So, yeah, a quick introduction to myself. I am Shashank Kenny, an associate consultant at CloudFronts, working primarily within the domains of D365 project operations, Sales Hub, customer service case management, as well as Power BI. I am also a Databricks certified data engineer, and I have hands-on experience building system integrations, connecting CRM platforms with external services to automate and streamline business operations. The solution you will see uh, being demonstrated today is something I have personally designed and implemented. So I will be walking you through not just what it does, but also about how I thought about it, what challenges I faced while developing it, and how those were resolved, and what was the end customer goal that was met along with their satisfaction. So in this session, we would cover the shipping and return shipment logistics landscape and why manufacturers and customer service delivery teams should use shipping aggregations software in integration with their customer service management. We would also cover the concept of return merchandise authorization or RMA that is necessary for shipping aggregators to process return shipments, as well as these things would be demonstrated along with the real life use case and its implementation. We would understand the foundations of an efficient return logistic action, as well as what business impact it does to your appliance manufacturing or customer service or handling of your logistical operations. We would also understand what other core shipping capabilities various shipping aggregators offer and how you could harness those to improve your customer service for your customers. So first, we need to understand the growing challenges we face in return shipments and logistics. So as the business scales up, returns scale with it as well, quickly turning into hundreds of requests each week. But it's not just about volume, it's about complexity. These returns are spread across regions, warehouses, inventories, and various logistical partners, making operations harder to manage for your customer service teams. Support teams are stuck handling this manually, repeatedly across various systems, moving across and coordinating and processing each request one by one. At the same time, customer expectations haven't slowed down at all. They expect a fast, seamless return experience, and their expectations keep on increasing. That's where gaps start to appear within your whole logistical management process. Manual processes simply don't scale along with your increase in workload or your customer requests and queries, leading to delays, higher workloads, and a weaker customer experience. And that's exactly the problem we are set out to resolve today. So here's a high level diagram of our end to end flow from the moment the case is created on your manufacturers or your customer support team's website or portal up till the point the all the required information is fetched and return shipment is registered with your shipping aggregator till the point a tracking number is generated, the mails are sent. May those be custom mails via mailing templates or the mails for the return label sent by your shipping aggregator itself. Up till a point, the case is resolved along with the accounting. I want to draw your attention to a few key aspects of this flow. Notice how a initiates the the case registration at the customer service portal, the creation of the case and the customer service support team's case number is auto generated on your customer service hub. Then, as the case progresses, the automation dynamically checks at what business stage it has reached, as well as whether it's a return shipment requirement or not. That is the basically the should it be an RMA or not. Once those conditions are met, all the associated product lists, the warehouse, the required warehouse details based on whether the RMA is for a generated for a replacement or a repair, or if it is within a warranty. Based on that, the appropriate warehouse will be selected by your integration, as well as the necessary contact details. Once those conditions are met, the whole case, along with the necessary information of the customer, is routed to your shipping aggregator. The shipment is registered and the return label is generated instantly and mailed to your customer, as well as confirmation is sent to you as well. The tracking number is logged into your CRM system, as well as the physical return label is sent to your customer, which they can get printed to initiate the return shipment journey from the actual shipping aggregator. And notice the feedback loop on the left. The tracking information and the RMA reference flow back to your CRM automatically. The agent sees everything they need without ever leaving their Dynamics customer service hub. The entire flow, which used to require an agent to manually navigate through multiple systems, now happens through a single trigger inside the customer service hub itself. So, before we dive down into the implemented solution, I want to make sure we are all aligned on one foundational concept, that is the RMA, or Return Merchandise Authorization. An RMA is a unique identifier, a reference number issued by a seller or a manufacturer to formally approve a product return for a repair, or to satisfy a warranty claim. It is essentially the authorization that says this return is legitimate, and whosoever the customer is, the product is, and the RMA reason it is coming back to the your shipping aggregator, and it should be delivered to your return warehouse. Just think of it as a passport for the return shipment, without which you have no structured way to process, or to route, or to track what's coming back to you. The RMA matters for four critical reasons. It ensures controlled return processing, via which only authorized returns are moved forward. It links every return to a specific service case in your CRM, so the actual context and the RMA reason is never lost. It prevents unauthorized shipments from being created, and it further enables end-to-end tracking and accountability across your operations. So, in our solution, the RMA is the central thread that ties everything together: the case in D365, the shipment in your aggregator, the label, the actual physical return label sent to your customer, and the tracking number that comes along with it, and the mails and everything. So, what is the role that RMA plays specifically with your customer service software? It is especially valuable in high volume environments when you are processing hundreds of returns each week. That traceability is what separates an efficient, scalable operation from a chaotic one. This further helps you to prevent any consequences of operating without a structured RMA process, that via which shipments often do not get identified, or products get lost or improperly processed, or where a lot of further manual reconciliation work is gets involved, and further inconsistent communication that erodes customer trust. All these are prevented. A well-defined RMA process, especially one embedded directly in your CRM system, would ensure a seamless experience for both your customer support team as well as your end customer who just wants to return a product and get their issues resolved. So let us understand the RMA life cycle. Here is the full RMA life cycle broken down into 7 stages, from the return initiation all the way to the resolution. Initially, basically this is covered in our actual flow itself. All the steps are automated from the point the customer initiates the return request, typically via the business website, up till a point the business issues the RMA code along with the return label. Now, in the traditional process, there is significant amount of manual work that occurs And in our solution, that the same thing is automated. Once the label is received, customer has to attach the label to the package and prepare the return shipment. The customer ships the product back using the label provided. The business receives it, and the return is sent to the designated warehouse of the manufacturer. The product is inspected and processed, replaced, repaired, maybe in the case it is processed based on how much damage is determined from it. And all this is handled against the RMA number itself. Once the RMA is processed at the end of the manufacturer, the return is finalized and the case is resolved. Now, based on your actual customer service use case, as well as the shipping aggregator you use, whether it be FedEx or United Parcel Services, DHL or Blue Dart, around three initial steps to around all of these steps of the workflow can be automated, or at least some part needs to has some manual intervention. Mostly the final part where the inspection is involved based on how your SOPs work. Now this is the skeleton of the RMA label which the customer receives. So on the left side, you can see the QR code for digital scanning, the addresses for the ship to warehouse, as well as your customer's address, the RMA number which integrates all the whole case and the shipment, the barcode which has the tracking number of the registered shipment as well as the RMA number itself, the RMA reason, as well as product details. Product details also affect the RMA in the sense, in case a product is sensitive to deliver, or if it is fragile, or if it spans various countries borders, or if the weight is beyond certain limit, the dimensions, etc. Now this is our the key villain over here, the traditional return shipment process. So traditionally, most customer service teams are observing this methodology up till today. 7 steps done manually every single time. They have to open the case, copy the customer details, open a separate browser, log into their appropriate shipping aggregator, go to the shipping manager portal, re-enter everything manually, and so on and on. After a while, they have to wait, collect the tracking number, put it back to the customer service hub, handle all the labels, the mails, etc. A lot of physical work is involved over here. And this, of course, is not suitable when you're handling hundreds of returns and customer expectations are at stake. Just imagine 20 to 30 minutes per request. If your team is processing 200 returns a week, maybe that's anywhere between 66 and 100 agent hours lost every week to a process that is entirely repetitive, entirely means that there are possibilities for errors, and entirely avoidable via the integration of your customer service hub, which we have done along with your the shipping aggregator. Now, it won't the traditional shipment process is not an operational inefficiency, it's just a structural problem, and it only gets worse as your business scales up with more inventory and more customers. So yeah, the traditional process just involves manually creating the case, fetching all the product details, getting the contact details, manually populating the warehouse details and everything. In the end, for every new return shipment or a fresh shipment you have to create, you have to go to your appropriate shipping manager's shipping registration portal, provide the details, select the service, select the RMA reason, the product dimensions and such. When against this, everything can be just streamlined. So let us look at an appropriate solution which can be implemented to resolve this. At its core, it's an integration between two platforms, your D365 customer service hub, as well as the shipping aggregator. In this case, I have used FedEx along with their return shipment service so that they can efficiently process their RMA requirements. Over here, the objective is simple and clear. Enable one-click return shipment creation directly from your case record itself without the agent ever having to leave their Dynamics 365 environment. The architecture diagram you can see at the bottom bottom of the slide shows you exactly how this would work under the hood. From the D365 case record, the system initiates 4 sequential steps, all triggered by a single button click, and which gets processed within a matter of few seconds. First, it fetches the case data and validates it. It includes the customer details, the addresses, phone numbers, the mail ID on which the return label would be sent, as well as your warehouse details based on if it say specific to use case, like if it is a particular repairing RMA reason, or a RMA reason for replacement or a warranty claim. Based on that, you can reroute your shipment to any particular warehouse where your business is spread. Then the RMA reference, all are pulled from the CRM automatically. Second, it authenticates with your against your account which you have made against your appropriate shipping aggregator using OAuth 2 token security. This is a secure industry standard method for API to API authentication. Now, the prerequisite over here is that your customer service team needs to have an account already registered with that shipping aggregator, so that all the return shipments are registered against it, as well as the charges for the shipment are processed against it. Then the it logs the shipment to the FedEx Shipping Manager for the against the appropriate shipping service, may it be an international shipment or shipment to a specific country, or any shipment which involves specific sensitive electronic components, or if it is a FedEx ground door-to-door shipment, or if it's a airline-based shipment and such. Then the it appears in the portal exactly as it would have been created manually. The tracking number and confirmation are written back automatically to the D365 case record along with the label details and all. The agent sees the result immediately without switching screens. The custom template based notifications, like based on your emails, are sent to the customer via the CRM as well. So in this case, this is the RMA flow specific to FedEx itself, where the user enters the shipment details, the shipping service is chosen, the review and confirmation is completed, against which a charge is calculated for the shipment. The label reaches the customer, and the printed label or the email written label is produced by a customer at the appropriate aggregator's warehouse location. Now, this is where the whole thing can be automated for reduction of the ideal time spent against traditional shipments. The new approach workflow would have the same outcome, but executed at machine speed with zero intervention from any external services or more customer service requirements. A customer contacts the support and a case is created. The support agent opens the case, reviews the customer and the business process stage. They only need to select the create return shipment button, which appears only when all the required conditions are met. The RMA is present for that particular customer's query, and the customer address is valid. At that point, the integration starts taking over gradually. It calls the appropriate shipping aggregator services. Over here, it's FedEx return shipment, either via a synchronous service or via a webhook, depending on the specific use case and its configuration. The shipment is created instantly. The tracking number is automatically returned back to your case record, and the return label is emailed directly to the customer. Start to finish, it's a matter of just 10 seconds, not 20 to 30 minutes. Here, the agent's role would shift significantly from being a data entry operator to a customer conversion manager. So in our example, we let us consider a US based consumer electronics appliance manufacturer who are leveraging their customer service hub and the shipping aggregator being FedEx. So once any of their customers reaches their portal for any particular repair or a return query, a case and a new contact is automatically created in their customer service hub. And as the case progresses, the and it receives a reaches at a receiving stage, and if it's a type of return shipment, then the appropriate buttons would be present to trigger your return shipment, as well as if it's a fresh shipment that can be available too. Once you select the button, the your account is validated against, all the necessary information is fetched based on what products the customer wants to process for return, as well as what warehouse you expect it to be delivered, and you would just get a message on your CRM system without ever having to reach your shipping manager's portal, that the shipment has been registered against your shipping account along with the RMA number, the tracking number which has just been created. It itself indicates the success of a successful uh, logistical process going through. It would also mention to which warehouse it has reached as well as the RMA label details. Along with that, the integration also handles creation of custom mails based on mailing templates specific to a return or a repair or a warranty claim, or if or a guarantee claims as well, which is generated via mail templates from your D365 CRM system. It would basically mention on within how many days your process return shipment will be generated, and under what tracking number you expect it to be. Once you get the tracking number and you select the link, you can it directly opens your shipping manager portal, where it will show you where the your particular shipment has reached, whether the customer has printed it, and have they delivered it to submitted it to your appropriate shipping aggregator, and whether it has reached your warehouse or not. Once the shipment has been processed, you just need to log into your shipping manager that handles the returns, and you can see over here all the shipments that have been created and printed. Now, this is the same interface an agent would previously have had to log into manually to create each shipment. You can see around 24 integrated shipments listed over here, all created through your D365 integration, without the agent ever having to leave their system itself to create these. Each entry shows you the creation date, the shipment date, the sender and the recipient addresses, as well as the status. The FedEx Shipping Manager remains the system of a record on the carrier side, but now it's populated automatically, not manually. The operations team can still view and manage shipments here directly as they were doing up till now. But the only magic over here is that they have saved considerable amount of time. They have prevented considerable amount of manual errors or any unnecessary switching between windows, etc. And the system understands the context of what the RMA is about what kind of RMA it has to process and such. Once the shipment has been registered, your end user would receive a mail similar to this, that a shipping label has been registered for a convenience. And once they open it, it show you the the shipper's address, the warehouse address, the item descriptions regarding the codes of the products being shipped, as well as the whole list, the RMA number, which is usually your case number itself, the phone number of both the parties involved, as well as a link to the shipping aggregators portal, where you can download the actual RMA label. The portal, once you open it to get your RMA label, you can validate all your details against it, and you can even request any change which you require via your customer service support, and you can print the label at this point. Now here comes the interesting part. Now this slide is one I'm particularly fond of because it addresses something that every integration project has to get it right, that is error handling. What happens if something goes wrong? What does the agent see? In this example, the system detected two potential issues. The primary phone number was either empty or in wrong format. Mostly a non-US based number had been entered, and the shipper address was too long for the FedEx's shipping manager to process against its constraints. Usually, these are various validations set in place to prevent unauthorized shipments being generated or to prevent any security issue. Similarly, various shipping services which you might use, like FedEx Ground Service, they have certain product limitations as well, weight limitations, dimension limitations, etc., based on how they are shipping it and what kind of service you are using. So rather than silently failing or generating a bad shipment, the system surfaces a clear, plain English message to the agent telling them exactly what needs to be corrected. This is critical in a customer service environment as agents are not technical users. They should never need to interpret a system, error, code, or anything. The integration is designed to communicate clearly between both ends what went wrong and what needs to be done to fix it. So if they face any such dynamic error message with the or validation which they receive, they can just check if any specific information is not being provided, like email address, which is very specific for email return labels, or if the address is invalid, like the pin code is not provided, or if the address doesn't exist or such. All these can be customized and handled automatically within our integration. Behind the scenes, there is a full validation layer that constantly checks the phone number format, the geographic standards, the verification of required fields, or all before the API call is even made, and errors are thus caught early, not while the actual shipping is generated. And this is the final output, the physical FedEx ground label, which the customer gets printed from the FedEx Shipping Manager. From the address to the customer to the shipper's address to the RMA number, the tracking number, which is basically what gets registered to your customer service hub as well, as well as what particular service you're using. Like in this case, it was FedEx door-to-door ground shipment service. The full barcode is at the bottom, which is just the RMA and the tracking number being represented simultaneously, so that the shipment is validated against. This is a production quality carrier compliant label, identical in every way to one that would have been generated manually through your FedEx Shipping Manager interface. Now, if you have come so far in this session, there is one question that might constantly make you curious, that why do I need a shipping aggregator at all? And why should I get it integrated with an appropriate IT advisor so that my shipping services or return logistics are handled seamlessly for to increase my customers' trust in my logistics and my the product quality. So, as returns and their volume scale, manufacturers rely on multiple carriers like FedEx, United Parcel Services, DHL, etc., based on their the uniqueness of their use case, the regions where their operations are involved in, the costs involved, and how much they are ready to compromise, and the service needs specific to the requirement. The challenge is that each carrier operates differently. Different systems, different APIs, different services the your shipping aggregator is able to expose to you based on what kind of account you maintain with them, premium account or a basic logistic account, etc., as well as the workflows which get involved in it. All this quickly creates fragmentation. So the key over here is choosing the right shipping aggregator, and the way you should align it with your regions, volumes, service requirements, and your specific customer needs. This is where your IT advisor steps in, mapping your business needs as how we have done for our US based customer to the aggregator's capabilities which they are ready to offer, as well as setting up an unified integration system that would seamlessly handle all your returns, which are unique to each and every case and how the customer expects them to be handled. From there, your team works in a single consistent workflow, expecting all the results within a short time, while the aggregator handles the carrier complexity in the background. That's what makes operations scalable for your whole logistical cycle. So here's a bonus slide. So if we want to further extend our shipping aggregator capabilities, these are some services which open up a lot of more of possibilities depending on how what kind of use case you are facing, and what kind of customer requirements you need to handle from time to time, as well as the products which you manufacture or ship to. At the core, you have your shipping creation and tracking, which we have used along with the return handling part, but you can build on top of that as well. For example, we can also have real time tracking. Now this is offered by UPS, which can be easily integrated with your CRM system. You can proactively notify customers instead of just waiting for them to reach out to you. Then we have address validation to reduce the possibilities of failed deliveries, or we can use the rates API, which gives us the ability to make smarter decisions, like dynamically choosing between cost effective or a better faster shipping service based on what kind of products and what kind of regions you are encountering specific to your scenario. Then we also have service availability and transit time services, which can be set to create accurate expectations at your customer's end right at the time of return initiation. Even something like pickup scheduling and similar things, door to door shipping handling can be even embedded into your workflow, making the whole experience more convenient and reducing friction for the customer. So the idea here is just isn't about integration, it's evolution. Depending on your priorities, you can layer these capabilities together or over time build over it or use any single service. You need not use them all of them together, of course. Thus, we transform it from a return process, a simple return process, to an intelligent, automated, integrated, and a customer friendly operation. And yeah, these are the various services which we have explored today in the bonus part. And we need to how we can choose the right service, and what basically in our particular implementation we use the shipping tracking as well as the return shipment handling services of FedEx. And if you have any other extended requirement for your for manufacturing needs or return shipment needs, you can even extend on this with other scheduling APIs, availability APIs as well. So yeah, and that with that we have completed the full journey from understanding the challenge through the foundations of an efficient returns process to a demonstration of a solution against our commonly faced problem and a practical framework for how to approach the API strategy. Thanks everyone for your time today. It means a lot to have an engaged and a curious group of attendees who take the time to understand not just what a solution does, but how and why it works. If you have some similar requirements to align or integrate with your dynamic CRM operation for your customer service requirements, or if you want to build further over your shipping aggregators capabilities which you currently use, maybe manually or with an existing integration, and you want to improve upon your logistical services which you provide to your customer, you can always feel free to reach us out at transform@cloudfronts.com. Thank you all very much, and I hope you have found this whole session informative, and it has given you some suitable food for thought. Yeah.